Day 2 of Chicago Bears mandatory minicamp is in the books, and let's talk about what happened today at practice. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears offseason update video, which I'll be doing all offseason long. So subscribe to my channel if you guys want my thoughts and my reaction on Chicago Bears offseason news. We have training camp in about a month now, about like 5 weeks, so cannot wait until that starts. But right now we have mandatory minicamp, which is almost over. We only have one more day of mandatory minicamp. Tomorrow is the final day. So yeah, enjoy the Bears news while you can, because we're not going to get much Bears news after this for a long time. Unless we sign somebody, you know, we could be signing an edge rusher hopefully sometime soon. So maybe that could be a potential news update. But besides that, not too much else. But let's talk about training camp today, okay? Not training camp, mini camp today. And I do want to start by talking about Justin Fields and DJ Moore, because, man, their connection has been something special right from the very get-go. I mean, from the first day of OTAs, you've been getting reports about these guys connecting early and often, being on the same page, making big plays throughout, you know, the entirety of practices. It's really crazy that they're already this much on the same page, that they're, you know, this much in tune with each other. I know it's only mini camp, they're not in pads yet, but still, it's good to see these reports coming out basically every single day. According to Zach Pearson, he said that nice to see the Justin Fields Moore connection again today. Fields hit Moore down the left sideline for a big gain. Was in double coverage with Jalen Johnson and Elijah Hicks there, but ball was on the money. Larry Meyer, the ChicagoBears.com writer, also said that the highlight of today's Bears practice was DJ Moore plucking a long Justin Fields pass out of the air between two defenders. Moore has been most impressive player I've seen this offseason. So incredibly smooth and makes everything look easy. That is exactly what Justin Fields needed on this offense for him. A guy that could make these plays for him and make stuff look easy. Because last year everything came difficult for Justin Fields because guys were dropping passes, guys were not getting open, guys were not making the right plays for their quarterback. But DJ Moore throughout his career, he's played with really bad quarterbacks too, and has still been super productive, still been super successful. So playing with a quarterback as talented as Justin Fields, the guy that, again, in college was a very, very talented thrower of the football, and I think we haven't seen that consistently yet in the NFL. But DJ Moore, I'm telling you guys, is going to unlock that ability out of Justin Fields in the NFL. I know it's only practice, you know, you don't want to be going too crazy over only practice reports, but we've seen DJ Moore already doing this in the NFL in games that have actually mattered. So I think that it is going to translate when the games matter for the Chicago Bears as well, and hopefully he can, you know, help Justin Fields develop more as a passer in 2023. But going on to the next story of the day, I want to talk about Jaquan Brisker now, our second-year safety out of Penn State last year, who had a pretty decent rookie season. He had a bad, you know, ending to the rookie season, but a pretty good start to the rookie season. And he made a big time play again today in practice. He actually had a pick-6 going up against Justin Fields. So according to Nicholas Moriano, he said that in 7-on-7s, Justin Fields had mixed results. He tried to fit a ball to DJ Moore over the middle of the field on an intermediate route. Jalen Johnson had tight coverage on Moore and looked like he got a finger on the ball, but the pass was still intercepted by Jaquan Brisker. Then later it was clarified that it was actually a pick-6, and Brisker ran all the way towards the weight room in celebration of that play. I mean, Jaquan Brisker is a big-time playmaker, and I really do hope we see more of these types of big-time plays from him in 2023. We saw that one-handed pick against Mac Jones on Monday Night Football. That was really cool, and I want to see more of those types of plays next year, getting more interceptions, getting more plays on the ball, being more instinctive in coverage. And I think he has that ability. I mean, in Penn State, you saw him make many plays on the ball, get a decent amount of interceptions, get some big time tackles too. And I think he could be a real leader on this team for other players on this defense. I mean, this guy's mentality, his swagger is what you want back there in a captain in the secondary. I don't think he's going to be a captain exactly because he's still pretty young. He still has a lot to learn, but that mentality, the swagger, the charisma to some extent, it's all there. And obviously the play on the football field is what actually matters, but these energy guys do make a difference on this team, and Jaquan Brisker is an energy guy, you know, that's always hyping up his teammates, always talking trash, always talking smack, and it's good to see him, you know, making strides in his development in 2023. But going to the other side of the ball now, talking about the offense again, I want to talk about the new signing Robert Tonyan, because we haven't heard too many reports about him so far, but we actually had a report about him making a pretty big play today in practice. So according to Mark Rote, he said that Robert Tonyan made about a 20-yard catch towards the sideline in traffic in 7-on-7s. We'll talk to the ex-Packer later today. It's really encouraging to have a solid pass-catching tight end number 2 on this team for Justin Fields and the offense, because I cannot remember the last time we've actually had a decent enough tight end number 2 on this offense. I mean, if you go back to last year, like we had Ryan Griffin as tight end number 2 behind Cole Kmet, and I feel like most Bears fans have kind of forgotten who Ryan Griffin even is because he did not make many plays for the Chicago Bears offense last year. But Robert Tonyan coming over from the Packers, he actually had 470 receiving yards last year. He also had, that 1 year in 2020 where he exploded for 11 touchdowns. So he actually has some experience being an adequate pass catching tight end. And I think that's really important for the Chicago Bears offense, because now we actually have the ability to succeed in 12 personnel and not only run the football. I mean, play action in 12 personnel is going to be very difficult for opposing defenses to defend, because you do have two different tight end options now to potentially throw to in both Kmet and Robert Tonyan. And if injuries happen to Cole Kmet, which hopefully they don't, you got a guy that could maybe step in to be that tight end number one. Now, he's not a good blocker like Cole Kmet is, so that would not be an ideal situation, but at least you do have two pretty solid options at tight end, which you didn't have before, which I think is really good for Justin Fields when he's trying to break out as a passer this year. Give him as many weapons as you possibly can. So good to see Tonyan having success. He also said later on that Justin Fields is an impressive young player. I'm very impressed with him. So good to see that chemistry already going between QB1 and tight end number 2. But let's talk about the next story of the day, talking about Tevin Jenkins, our left guard now. He used to play right guard for us last year. He played right guard for the first time, actually moving over from right tackle, and now he's actually moving to left guard because Nate Davis is coming here to play right guard. So Tevin Jenkins, in his first media interview, said that he was told right away that he's going to be moving to left guard, when they signed Nate Davis to play right guard. And he also followed up in that quote and said that the extra time to acclimate to left guard allowed him to work on his new technique and to get in the playbook to make sure he knew what he had to do before the offseason training program started. So it'll be interesting to see how Tevin Jenkins adjusts to being a left guard. It's not going to be as hard of a transition going from right guard to left guard, going from guard to guard, as it was going from tackle to guard, because that's definitely, different in terms of your stance. And even going to left guard is going to be different. It's not going to be, a seamless transition maybe, but I still think that Tevin Jenkins he's going to be completely fine, because his skill set is power and mauling ability, and he's going to still have that at left guard. He's going to have to learn, a new technique, a new stance, kind of, pushing over to his left side now instead of his right side. But I think he's going to be fine, because he does have that work ethic, that mentality too, to succeed at his new position. So he's being a warrior through all this, being okay with moving 2 different times now with the Chicago Bears, going from tackle to right guard and then going over to left guard. But I think it's going to be completely fine, because he showed the ability to be a really good guard last year, and I think that's going to continue on the left side. And then finally, I want to talk about some media quotes, end this video off by talking about some media quotes from some of our players, which doesn't matter too much. It's just players talking, but I wanted to talk about this because it hyped me up listening to some of these guys. So Chicago Bears defensive lineman DeMarcus Walker, he said that he had enough of the talk about the struggles the Bears had last season. He said that, honestly, fuck that shit. This is the 2023 Chicago Bears. We got a whole new identity, whole new offense, and new defense. He ain't lying, guys. I mean, I've been trying to say this to Bears fans the entire year. You can't judge this team based off of last year, because the whole damn team is different. There's so many different guys. We added so much on both offense and defense. I mean, multiple starters, multiple depth pieces too. I know it's still going to be a process. We're not going to be Super Bowl contenders right away, but this is not the 3-14 Bears team from last year whatsoever. It is okay to be optimistic, to be talking about, having higher expectations this year than last year, because that's the mentality that our players are having too. And I'm happy that our players are this willing to talk about being great and not being okay with accepting whatever the hell happened last year. I also want to talk about, who was this? Robert Tonyan also said that, I love where we're at. Overlooked, underrated, whatever you want to call it. They still got to step on the field with us and got to see us. I'm excited. The energy is so different in Chicago this year, and I know it's only talk right now. We're going to have to prove it on the football field, but the way these players are talking, the way these players are showing their confidence, it is not at all what I saw last year, because we didn't see much of this last year. I mean, this year, guys are actually bought in. They're expecting to win some games, and hopefully we do win some games and end up with a much better record than we had last year. But those are all the reports I have for you guys today. I think there's going to be one more video tomorrow if the media is there. I'm pretty sure the media is there. Don't quote me on that though. So if they're not there, we're not going to get any reports, but hopefully they're there, and I'll come out with another video tomorrow. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, bear down.